Oh, a bit nippy. What do you want, sausage? Hmm? What's up? You being good? Hi everyone, hi indeed. Sorry for being considerably late this morning. Now this afternoon, that's how late I am. I couldn't decide what to play this morning. Hang on. So yeah, I'm rather keen to avoid work for the moment though. So yeah, I figured I'd download something and ended up downloading the sequel to that VR fishing game that I keep playing. Yeah, how are you all? How is everyone? Hang on a minute. You're right, darling. What do you want? This young lady refused to eat her dinner last night, so I decided to get sneaky. I took a few spoonfuls of the dry kibble and put them into my coat pocket as we walked around the local PARK, and then I would scoop out little bits of this kibble and feed it to her, and of course she was like, ooh, treats. It wasn't treats, it was just her normal food. So I have given her 2 large handfuls of her normal kibble. Because she's picky, and she's like, oh no, I want like decent meat. But I managed to fool her into thinking that it was, no, tasty treats. Yes, I managed to fool you, didn't I? I managed to fool you. You silly girl. Yeah? Yeah? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. I'll get straight into it, and then I'll explain what I'm doing on the YouTube front. 1 second. Thank you, Mad John. Thank you very much, Mad John. Oh. Okay. Good luck with your first day back at work, Mads. I hope it goes very smoothly. Just gone off to get some water. Thank you, Uruk says hi. Thank you very much. And Sultan Pete and Kirky Worky. Thank you. Right. So, what the fuck is this? I'm going to be honest, I don't really know. Oh, my skills are considerable, as you can see. Okay. Don't even know what these are. Coins, costing skill points. So there were skills that you could get in the previous VR game, weren't they? Quests. Go fishing, I guess. Alright. Welcome to Ultimate Fishing Simulator 2. Do you want to start the tutorial? I don't need a tutorial. Yeah, alright. Okay. Thank you, Shamrock. Thank you very much, Shamrock. Okay. Yeah. So over here, things are very busy. Very, very busy. I'm trying to... Whoops. There we go. I'm trying to finish a 3-hour video that I've been working on since October, which is a bit of a... Yeah. Lots of work to do. But I'll talk about it. I'll talk about that in a bit. Right. Okay, movement. Move around with the WASD keys and the mouse. On the right side of the screen, you'll find information about the weather and the equipment that you're currently using. Look around the fishing ground and then approach the water. Oh dear. That's quite a considerable... Is that on purpose? There is considerable control lag there. Okay. Can I use the boat? Possibly. Float fishing. One of the more popular fishing methods is float fishing. Select a float set now by pressing 2. Let's have a look. Pressing 2. Okay, so float fishing, short distance cast. The simplest way of casting the rod is the short distance cast. However, keep in mind to aim for a spot with sufficient depth. Prior to casting the rod, you can adjust the float depth with the bracket keys. Perform a short distance cast by pressing and holding right mouse button. Okay. So holding and let go. There we go. And then if I left click, yeah, I can reel it in. So the line is reeled in by pressing the left mouse button. You can change the reel in speed with the mouse wheel. You can adjust the drag strength with the plus and the minus key. You can also reset the cast by pressing Q. Now fully reel in the line. Okay. Right. You perform the long distance cast by pressing and holding left mouse button. I see. So right is short. Let me just test that again. Where's it gone? Obviously, it won't physically let me as he's trying to restrict. Hang on. Okay. There we go. So left mouse is a long cast straight into that tree where I'll lose my float again. There's a couple of trees and fisheries in the south of England with my floats still dangling in them. Your next task is to catch a fish. You can use the underwater camera by pressing the U key to see what's happening underwater. Wait for the fish to become attracted to the bait. Ooh, that was quick. Holy shit, I've already caught a perch. For real? I suppose it's the tutorial. Okay. Oh no, it's fucked off. Fair dues? What was that U key about then? Hang on. So press U. Is it in the water? It is. I see. So that's what I'm meant to see. Ah, okay then. It's a bit loud. Is it a bit loud? Some bloody little roach there. Oh, there we go. That's a bream, I think. There we go. It's either a bream or it's a very small common carp. You can tell because that's what it looks like. No, it's a nothing. I caught a nothing. Hooray. Volume is fine. Okay, sure. So when the fish takes the bait, you must hook it at the right moment. Try to make the line as tight as you can. Right mouse button to jerk. Beg your pardon? Okay. Hi there, Tom. ZF Tom is in the chat. Tom, I'm really, really eager to go fishing and the UK is too fucking cold. Although technically you could go fishing, but the fish don't move. They tend to sit in one place in the lake, so potentially you could be fishing for ages and catch nothing because the fish literally aren't there. And frankly, I don't want to do that. I can't be bothered to wander up and down the lake. Hang on. So that's a long cast. Straight onto that rock. No, we're fine. Okay, so I've just got to jerk the bait at the right moment or just look at the float, which is the purpose of the float. So you can see when there's a fish nibbling on the bait. Okay. Hi there. Ooh, hello. Quickly jerk. I've got to strike. Can I not physically strike? Hang on, pull the line taut for a second. Can I zoom? Oh, I can zoom. Cool. Oh, now jerk, strike. Catching a fish. Once you've hooked a fish, you can freely pull it in. What the fuck? Okay, I'm just going to fucking reel. That looks like a perch based on the stripes. Come on. Just pull it in. It's a tiny perch. There we go. I've got it. Press and hold. There we go. What? Dude! There we go. It's fine. So after catching a fish, you can either keep it or release it, with each granting you different bonuses. Release the fish now. So next, select a spinning set by pressing 1. So this is a perch, for those not familiar. A perch is a European predatory... Well, it kind of eats everything, to be honest. But it is a predatory fish that moves in shoals. One fun fact about the perch is once you've actually caught it, try to get it back in the water as quickly as possible. Why? They shoal. They move around in large groups, and therefore if you release it too slowly, it might struggle to catch up to the rest of its friends. So you want to get it quickly unhooked, get it back in the water as quickly as you can, so it can obviously go and rejoin the shoal. Otherwise it could be isolated, and that's not what you want. Thank you, Laughing Man ES. Thank you for the raid there, Laughing. And Armour Storm, and Erin Hackervane, and Skeletor, and Vince. Thank you, all of you. Right. European perch. Release the fish. How does one release the fish? Keep or release. There we go. I believe you can also eat them, I think. Okay. Right. Thank you, Womble. Thank you for the modding. Okay, catch a fish. So select the spinning set. So I believe it's referring to a lure. They're not all necessarily spinners. It's time for a new type of fishing. In this step, you will learn how to use the spinning method. Now perform a long-distance cast by pressing the left mouse button. 1 second. Is that a spinner? What is that? Peculiar looking. Let's have a look. That's a short cast. It is. It's a spinner. So this is a spoon spinner, I believe. A spoon lure. So guide the lure so that its effectiveness is as high as possible. In the upper right corner of the screen, there's a lure indicator. When it turns green, it means that the effectiveness is increasing. Reduce the retrieval speed to 10% with the mouse wheel and retrieve the lure until you get a bite. Keep casting until you manage to catch a fish. So in real life, I've never actually caught anything with a spinner, although I did try one session, but either there was no predatory fish in the water there at the time, or I was doing it wrong. Maybe both. But basically, what this does is... Hang on. The spinner spins, obviously, in such a way that the reflections look a bit like a fish in distress. So if I gently pull it like this... I'm hoping it will look like a fish that's having trouble. And predatory fish that don't have the luxury of... Oh, there we go. Yep, like a perch there. That don't have the luxury of slowly approaching it to determine whether or not it's food. Go for it very quickly and grab it. There we go. Oh, I lost it. I lost it. Okay. Evidently I suck. Reduce the retrieval speed to 10% with the mouse wheel. Okay. Hang on. I see. So we're slowly pulling it in. Thank you, Goblinian. Hi there, Goblinian. There we go. Another perch. So I'm just going to increase the retrieval speed up to 40%. No, don't tangle me in the fucking reeds. Where's my line strength so I don't snap it? Yeah, it did it again. How strange. What am I doing wrong? Set 1. Speed, drag. Is it my drag, maybe? You're right. Oopsie. You're right, sausage. 1 second. I have a dog here that is looking at me wanting a belly rub. 1 second. Ooh, what's his belly? Oh, what's his belly? Oh, yes. Who's a good girl? Who's a good girl? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know. Yes. I know you are. I know you are. Oh, you give me lip. Oh, you give me lip. How dare you give me lip? Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Yeah. I think she wants to play. I think she wants to play. 1 second. She, a few weeks ago, mortally wounded one of her favourite toys. Oh no. Oh wait, it's on the sofa behind her. She mortally wounded her duck. By that I mean she pulled its squeaky out. However, after a few minutes of sewing, look what I've done. Yeah. Oh, that's not the duck. Oh, that's not it. She loves that one. Ah, dear. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Hi there, folks. Okay. What's the term again when the face doesn't match the voice? I don't know. Is there a term for that? Hang on. Right. Am I actually striking? No, I don't think I am. That's a good point. So is the hook not effectively going into the lip of the fish? I mean, it should do. I guess not really. It depends entirely on how hard they grab the hook. Normally there's a bolt effect, which means that if the fish grabs it and tries to swim away, then it'll hook itself, so long as the line is taut. But maybe that's not happening with this. I'm going to be the first to admit I'm not very familiar with spoon spinners. Not that they... Sorry, that's not a spoon spinner. Lures. Thank you, Plan Sweeby. Thank you very much, Plan Sweeby. Thank you. I think I'm going to run out of water. There we go. Oh, that, Jesus Christ, was that a pike? Holy shit. There was a pike. Hang on. Oh, no. Oh, pfft. Oh, no. Game? That's an oof? The game model is just sitting there. Oh, no. Are they getting stuck in general? Can I see them? Or no, is the game model meant to do that, but the visual is wrong? Is it just the pike? So pike, they do that. They stay in one area. They're ambush predators. Maybe it's meant to do that, but the animation is wrong. Hang on. Yeah, maybe there's no idle animation. I mean, the game is early access. Maybe it thinks it's like, okay, just return to your idle animation. Here we go. So yeah, I've never really... Well, I've tried this, but I've never caught anything in real life with lures. So it might be interesting. Maybe you're going to see the pike go for it in a minute. Oh, no, too late. I've already got something. Have I? Maybe I just got snagged on something? So I wonder if that pike is going to go for it. Oh, no, there we go. So, pull. I see. So when the arrow appears... Okay, reel, keep reeling. Press and hold. I see. Am I just not holding it properly? Ah, maybe that was the problem. I wasn't holding the button. Putting a fish in the net. So select keep to put the fish in your net. The net is used to manage fish, and you can open it by going to the main menu with the escape and opening the player profile. Okay. So that's a nice perch. European perch, new personal record. Cool. Okay, so let's put it in the keep net. I don't own a keep net. In fact, I think they're against the rules on the fisheries that I go to. Thank you, Rayu. Thank you very much, Rayu. And Plan Sweeby. And Moramata. Thank you very much. What is this creature doing? Right, okay. So pressing M will open a map of given locations. You can use it to teleport to a particular spot by clicking the fishing ground number, changing the weather. Or change the weather, I think. Okay. Oh, I see, just by waiting. I see. Okay. Let's go over here. Yes. Ah. You can find all the information you need under the Help tab. Okay. Well, I've never been to one that allows keep nets, Zenko. Maybe there are. I'm sure there would be some somewhere. Okay, let's have a look then. Equipment, what's available? I see, this is my loadout. So, feeder master. I presume that's a feeder rod. As in a method feeder rod? So a method feeder rod is one that's got a very, very wiggly and flexible tip. Why? Because it's used with something called a method feeder, which is basically like a large, like a plastic shell that you squish bait around, and the idea is that a carp will nibble on it, lift it up, and then pull the whole thing. You'll see the whole tip of the rod bend massively as it moves the feeder. Okay. So what's that? Classic. I've never seen that type of lure before. That doesn't look safe. Oh no, I see. Sorry, my mistake. That's not the hook. That's just the tail. Oh, I see. The hook is on the inside. Ah. Okay. Custom 2. There we go. What's this? Telerod. Telescopic rod, I think, maybe? I've never used one of those. Well, it's not strictly true. I had one when I was a teenager, but... Okay. It's a jig, says Brig Agree. A jig? What's a jig? Hang on. Is that a type of lure? Jig. What's a jig? Weighted fish hook tipped with an artificial bait, apparently. Ah, okay. I see. Ah, okay, I know what that is. Yeah, I've seen those then. Sweet. I need to buy one of those and give that a go then. I don't have any in my tackle box in real life. Okay, let's go fishing. Let's have a look then. So time, weather, noon. So fish typically, well, they try to avoid feeding at noon, or at least any point where they could be spotted in the water by predatory birds. So they tend to go in the mornings or the evenings, and especially at night. Well, it depends on the species, obviously. Let's go for early morning. Let's go for cloudy. Again, same reason. They love to feed when it's cloudy and the water is difficult to sort of spot them in. Okay. Cloudy, overcast. Light rain is also very good, especially after light rain when the water is oxygenated. US. Let's not go to the US. Let's go to... Let's not go to Russia. For the love of God, let's not go to Russia. Level 3. Tutorial. Okay, apparently we're going to Jacksonville National Park. Can I go to Slovakia? No. Kiel, is that in Germany? Right. So, sorry, I missed the update. So for those, so welcome everyone. So YouTube, what's going on? So I'm still working on this big 3-hour video, and this week, so I've spent the last 2 weeks putting together the final piece. So I've divided it up into 4 chunks, you see. You can find 3 of those chunks below the stream, so I've made test renders for you, and you can find 3 of them below the stream. The video is a big video essay on a game called The Forest. So the 4th and final chunk, I spent 2 weeks putting it together, and now it's together. It's viewable and it's watchable. The plan this week is to polish it. So by Friday, touching wood, by Friday I'm hoping I can deliver it to you. So I'm hoping that this week, a week of polish will be enough. So I'll spend this week doing that. Hopefully deliver it to you on the Friday. And then after Friday, it's a case of putting the whole thing together. So all 4 pieces, put them together and fix the problems and fill in the missing bits. And there's quite a few missing bits. Yeah, so that's the plan. So please bear with me. Okay. Tab, quick help. What's that? Oh, I see. Nice. Got a torch. Sorry, so the last time I played this game, there was a multiplayer feature in the sense that you could see what other people were catching. So I'm guessing that's what the feed is to the bottom left. If I press M, can I see other anglers on this lake? Lumber mill, Snake River. Yeah, the water does look good, doesn't it? I suppose that's what you're staring at the whole time. So this is one smaller lake. Okay, let's have a walk around it. Does it say what type of fish are in here? This is in America, so I probably have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. Hang on. Morning, cloudy, exit location. Okay. Thank you, Don Homer. I just hope that the last bit makes it work, really. Macabacca caught a sockeye salmon. Ooh, okay. There are salmon in here? Never caught salmon. Okay. What's my first step then? I don't even know what species would be in here. Let's have a look at my setup then. We'll go with a float then. Right, so let's go with... So how does one do it? Settings, equipment. So telescopic rod. What is that? Is that a big pit? Big chunky... Okay, so I've got mono. Okay. So mono strength 2.51 kilograms. Okay. Hang on. It's in kilograms confusingly. That's... So that's only a 5.5 pound line. Really? Okay. That's not that much. Yeah, that's really not much. What about my hook length? Leader? 4 kilogram? Why do I have a fucking... Why have I got a shock leader? So sorry, a shock leader is it's like a specially stronger initial part of the line so that you can cast something very heavy long distance. I don't need a shock leader. So like if I had if I'm casting very heavy bait, you know when you cast the rod, so for the first couple of seconds as it's spinning over your head, the weight of whatever you've got on the end is pulling hard on the on just the first part of the line. So a shock leader is where you've got, like for the first 5 meters or something, a really, really tough line so it can eat it. It can just fucking take this huge amount of strain before it starts coming off the spool. Can I set it to Imperial? That might be easier. Hang on. Metric is useful in real life, but since everything in fishing is Imperial. Hang on. Settings. Controls, graphics, language, display. 1 second. Display. There we go. Units of weight. Pounds. There we go. Sweet. There we go. Let's have a look. So what have I got? So it's only a 5 point... So for context, I normally use about an 8 to a 10 pound line for my float fishing. In the event that I get carp. Carp will effortlessly... Yeah, they're going to effortlessly snap... effortlessly snap 5.53 pound line. Steel titanium... What the hell? Strange. I must have I've misunderstood something here. That can't be my hook length. Okay, let me just start fishing. Hang on. Here we go. So how deep is the lake? Quite deep. Okay. So are there any fish on the surface layer? Hang on. So where's my float? There it is. Let's just pull the line taut for a second. Oh, hello. There we go. We've got something. So let me just... Where's the drag? Hang on. There's the drag. There's the speed. What have I got there? Press and hold. There we go. What's that? Oh, is that a teeny weeny pike? Oh no, a grass pickerel. What is a grass pickerel? Hang on. Grass pickerel is... looks a lot like a pike. The grass pickerel is a species of freshwater fish in the pike family. It can be found in primarily vegetated waters of pools, lakes, and swamps. Okay. The American pickerel. Alright. Medium-sized species of North American predatory freshwater fish belonging to the pike family. Okay. There is no widely accepted English collective name for them. So the redfin and grass pickerels occur primarily in sluggish pools of water, are carnivorous predators that feed on smaller fish, native to North America. Not to be confused with their more aggressive cousin, the northern pike. Okay. Cool. price. I see, you could sell them for food, I guess? Hi there, Messi. Hi there indeed. Yeah, let's release it. Did it swim away properly, or did it get bugged out beneath me? Not sure. Okay. So hang on a second. Let's increase the hook length then. So 1 minute. Drag, what does it say? Line, rod, reel. That's my speed. This is my drag. What's this? Distance. What was the bracket key again? I'm trying to increase my hook length. Hang on. Just cast out again. Junior says wire is also used for fishing for pike and other predatory fish as they can bite across the line and break it. Oh, really? I've never heard of that. Holy shit. Okay. So how does one strike? Is it just a quick click or a hold? I think it's a hold. Oh. There we go. We got something. Start reeling it in. Okay, it feels kind of small. There we go. What have we got? Oh. There we go. It looks like another one. My dude is like, this is a fish. I caught it. Yes. He looks abnormally impressed. Okay. Right. Dude, just put it in the fucking water. It's a teeny weeny grass pickerel again. So, yeah. Just release it. Can you customize what you look like, I wonder? Yeah, I'd piss myself if you just started biting into it like Smeagol. Okay. So let's just change my... So how does one learn what fish are in here then? There's no sense just throwing your bait in and catching out anything. Hang on. So go fishing. Skills. If I go out again to the map screen, exit location, 1 second. Mun260, very sorry, I'm working on something else. I've been stuck into a bigger video that isn't a bullshittery since October. Give me a few more weeks. I'm eager to get on with the bullshittery, but I've just got to get this one done, sorry. Okay, so what does it say? Ah, here we go. So brown bullhead, sockeye salmon, rainbow trout, smallmouth bass, yellow perch, grass pickerel, redfin pickerel, bluegill, largemouth bass, and pumpkin seed. Okay. Tench. Ooh, I want to go here. Yeah, this is what I'm used to. European species. Okay, so let's try to get to rank 3, and then we'll get over to, yeah, get back to Europe. Okay. And good luck if you do, Sandmans. Good luck indeed. Have fun. Okay. Let's go over here then. So yes, I'm rather eager to go fishing once again. My instincts are completely wrong for American species though, so carp would love that. You see all this vegetation? Carp love hanging around that. But I presume trout, as the prior game, would like spinners in open water. So let's try that then. Let's try to get some trout. So let's go to my gear selection 1. So there we go. We have some sort of spinner. So let me cast it out into the water. Okay. Let it go deep. And then reduce the drag. Sorry, not the drag. Reduce the speed down to 10%. And start pulling it towards me slowly, making it look like a fish that's in distress. And then hopefully a trout will be like, hello. Don't get snagged. Oh, hello, there we go. So start pulling. Careful, let's just reduce the drag a bit. Whoa, it's making me sick. That doesn't... Oh, okay, it let go. I presume they're barbless. Or maybe it wasn't hooked. Maybe I didn't strike? Try again. There we go. So, strike. No, I've got no... Whoa. Don't even know if it's on, sorry. Up my... No, it's off. Okay. I don't think you need to strike when it comes to these. Surely it's got a bolt. Is that a boat? What's that? Oh, it's just a log. Huh? Okay. So for those not familiar with fishing in general... Hang on. Oh, fish has already got it. Quick. The whole idea is that once you've got something hooked, it's going to start fighting. And there's a setting on the reel to do with the resistance of effectively how much strength does it take to pull line away, and you want to have the resistance just strong enough. Damn it! It came off again. Just strong enough so that the fish tires, but not so strong that it will snap the line. Essentially, so in the event that a fish is fighting, it's known as it's playing the fish. It's obvious. Obviously, you're playing the fish to tire it out. So I need to make sure when you hear a clicking sound, it's the sound of the fish pulling line out, which is what I want. Okay. It's a very satisfying sound, the click of a reel as the line is being pulled away. Here we go. So something. There we go. Something. So strike. There we go. I see. I strike. There we go. So just down the resistance a little bit. Make sure it can take line if it needs to. Keep moving. Yeah. Keep going. Glitchy animations currently. Holy shit. There we go. Hello. What's that? A brown bullhead. Okay, new personal record. 33.7 centimetres, 1.20 pounds. It's not even hooked in the mouth. That's kind of rubbish. Hang on. So what's this? Sorry. A brown bullhead is a what? So the brown bullhead is a fish that is widely distributed in North America. It is a species of bullhead catfish and is similar to the black bullhead and yellow bullhead. It was originally described by Charles Alexandre Lesueur in 1819, and the brown bullhead is widely known as the mudpout, horned pout, or simply the mud cat. Okay. What does it do? What does it eat? So this catfish is easily caught with natural baits such as worms and chicken livers. Just wild chicken livers, just, floating around in the lake. They have a scrappy but not unusually strong fight. Anglers often catch them by fishing off the bottom. When caught in very clear waters, when the flesh is firm... when caught in very clear waters, when the flesh is firm and reddish to pinkish, the hornpout is quite edible and delicious. Citation needed. Nevertheless, its genial cousins such as the channel catfish and the blue catfish are better known for their use as food. In most areas, they will not exceed 2 pounds in weight. Oh, it's a pretty good one then. 1.2 pounds. With a current International Game Fish Association world record of 7.3 pounds. Oh, okay, maybe not. Okay, so let's release it, I suppose. Oh. Yeah, just on the hook and someone's reading Wikipedia on their phone. Jameson says, we consider them junk fish. Oh, for real? Okay. So let me just increase the speed of the reel back in. Let's see if I can get some... Oh, hello, that was quick. A perch. Hang on. No? Missed it. Too slow. So let's do a very quick reel in. Maybe that's a bit too quick. That's probably way too quick. I wonder where the trout are, hey? There we go. So quick, like little... Make it look like a fish that's having trouble. Maybe it's too quick. Oh, I went too quick. Oh no, bloody hell, what the fuck? What is he doing? What is the dude doing with the fish? Just swinging him around like the fucking cat in a bag. Okay, it's another grass pickerel, so it's a type of American pike. I must admit, I've never caught a pike, so I couldn't tell you much about them beyond their known behaviours. So they sort of float in place, hunting things via ambush. Okay. Thank you, Westy. Thank you very much, Westy. Right, let's keep going. What's my current level then? I need to get to level 3. How much experience? Oh, okay, quite a bit of experience. Right. What happens when I put it in the red? Does he fail to cast, or does it just go really far? Okay, try to stay higher up in the water layer. I think there might be a trout over there. Oh, hello. Have we got his attention? Maybe not. Oh, there we go. Something. What's that? Whoa, okay, listen to that clicking sound. So that's line being pulled off. There we go. There we go. Press and hold. What is that then? That is... I don't know. A smallmouth bass. Ah, hello. Hang on. Smallmouth bass. What are you about then? So the smallmouth bass is a species of freshwater fish in the sunfish family. It is the type species of its genus, the black basses, and is a popular game fish sought by anglers throughout the temperate zone of North America, and has been spread by stocking as well as illegal introduction to many cool water tributaries and lakes in Canada, and more so in the United States. The maximum recorded size is approximately 27 inches, 69 centimeters, nice, and 12 pounds, 5.4 kilograms. This is a 0.4 pounder, 26.35 centimeters. The smallmouth bass is native to the upper and middle Mississippi River Basin and the St. Lawrence River Great Lakes System and the Hudson Bay Basin. Its common names are smallmouth, bronzeback, brown bass, brownie, smallie, bronze bass, and bareback bass. Okay. Bass fishing. In the United States, smallmouth bass were first introduced outside of their native range with the construction of the Erie Canal in 1825, extending the fish's range into central New York states. During the mid to late 19th century, smallmouth were transplanted via the nation's rail system to lakes and rivers throughout the northern and western United States, as far as California. Shippers found that the smallmouth bass were a hardy species that could be transported in buckets or barrels by rail, sometimes using the spigots from the railroad water tanks. Really? Okay. With increased industrialization and land use changes, many of the nation's eastern trout rivers were polluted or experienced elevated water temperatures, reducing the range of native brook trout. So wait, were these introduced as a food fish? Because it says became a popular game fish. I think they're mostly just a game fish. Okay. So the smallmouth bass is a very popular game fish, frequently sought by anglers, using conventional spinning and bait casting gear, as well as fly fishing. The smallmouth bass is potentially the toughest fighting freshwater fish in North America, and is commonly the targeted species in many freshwater fishing tournaments. In addition to wild populations, the smallmouth bass is stocked in cool rivers and lakes throughout Canada and the United States. In shallow streams, it is a wary fish, though usually not to the extent of most trout. The smallmouth is highly regarded for its top water fighting ability when hooked, and old fishing journals refer to the smallmouth bass as ounce for ounce and pound for pound, the gamiest fish that swims. This is going to sound crazy. I'm very, very tempted to go to America to go fishing. As in real life. They sound fun. Where are they? How far do I have to go into the country? Oh, good God, not far at all. Okay, if there's a confused British man landing on your eastern shores, any Americans, please don't rob him. You can buy him a sandwich or two, though. Ah. Interesting. Okay, smallmouth bass. Wait, how big do they get? So maximum recorded size. I mean, they sound quite... sorry, I don't wish to be rude. They sound quite small for their fighty reputation. 12 pounds? The maximum recorded size is only 12 pounds. That's not a big fish. Sounds... well, they sound exciting, though, if they can fight on that size. Yeah, sorry, we'll put the... sorry. Okay. Oh, what was that? Okay. So hang on, let's go over here. Well, hang on. Cancel that cast. Cool. Just hang on. Can I cancel the cast? Just thinking. Let me see if I can find some water features where fish may be shoaling up. What's that over there? If I can find some rocks or some weeds or stuff, or that sort of thing. Let me do a short cast. Maybe there's... well, just go here. Right, keep it high on the waterline. Maybe I can catch something as I go this way. Oh, hello. Strike, quick. There we go. Okay, down that drag. Up the speed. No, have I lost it? I've lost it. Damn it, I didn't strike hard enough. Okay, try again. Sorry, for those joining the stream, I hope you're okay. Sorry for the content drought on the YouTube channel. I'm still trying to finish a 3-hour-long video, which is proving to be a bit of a nightmare. Okay. Oh, shit. Strike. Hi there, Zeiss. Hi there indeed, Zeiss. Oh. Careful of that drag. Careful of that drag. Folks, that's ZF Zeiss. Hope you're well, sir. Okay, watch that drag. Don't let the line break. So it's trying to pull away line. And as it's doing so, the drag setting on the reel and the amount that the rod is bending is effectively is tiring the fish. It's having to exert effort, both fighting the literal angle. So that's why it's called angling, as in the bending of the rod. Fuck. But also with modern gear, the resistance setting on the reel. So in doing so, it's tiring out, and it can't last forever. At which point, that's when you can land it. So I fought carp for one carp I fought for like 15 minutes. It was amazing. God, my arms were just killing me at the end of it, though. I was absolutely just holy shit. Normally, they don't last that long. Come on. Come in, mate. When's he going to tire out? He does not want to tire out. What is it? Oh, fuck, it is a trout. Okay. Whoa, okay. So he's doing whatever he can to try and get that hook out of his lip. And if he can actually get behind some debris, such as a jetty or something, they can actually succeed. They'll try and... Because they're wily, they're not stupid. They'll try and hook you around something and basically make the line no longer taut. And when the line isn't taut anymore, the hook just falls out. That is, if you're using unbarbed hooks, which you're meant to. Barbed hooks do too much damage to the fish's lip. It won't heal properly. Never use a barbed hook. He does not want to tire, does he? Just upping the drag setting on the line. Need to try and tire him out. There we go. Don't lose him. Don't lose him. There we go. And in goes the net. Woo! Okay. Rainbow trout. Not bad. 2.6 pounder. That did not feel like a 2.6 pounder. Don't kiss it, dude. Leaning in there. 43 centimeter fish. Well, in real life, I've never caught a trout. Never caught a trout. They're not actually in the lakes that I go to. Maybe they're in the rivers, but they're certainly not in the lakes. Keep or release? We should probably release it for the experience, frankly. Okay. Yeah, those hands. Nice. Good posture as well. Sorry, just to compliment his posture. So never lift the fish up above your knee, as in above your waist. Keep it like knee height, and if you can, keep it over the net or the cradle. So if it does wriggle free, it doesn't go slamming down onto the goddamn jetty. Make sure it has a soft landing if it does wriggle free, that sort of thing. But ideally, you want a cradle. You want a sort of hammock thing where the fish will lay, and you can just take a picture of it, pick it up briefly, put it back down. You want to minimize the damage to the fish as much as you can. Again, assuming you're not fishing to eat them. If you're releasing them, you want to minimize it while it's there. Give it some antiseptic cream on both its lip and any injuries it might have, and get it back in the water. And if you do that, then yeah, they can live for years and years and grow massive, which is an important thing for anglers who are gunning not for the meat, but for the size of the fish, you know? Okay. Yes, indeed, Tayden. Sorry, forgive me. I think there's a bit of a... There seems to be a difference in the way that UK fishing is done, or at least carp fishing, versus American angling, I think. So there's strong emphasis placed on trying to keep the carp alive and healthy. So on many venues that I go to, you have to have antiseptic spray. They won't let you fish if you don't have it. Same with the cradle. Okay. Not crazy at all, Jameson. The carp can live for 20 years and grow gigantic. If you want to know what all the fuss is about, just Google image 20-year-old carp. And you'll go, oh, I see. Keep the fish alive and healthy, and those sort of fucking monsters are what you get in your lake. In fact, I'm just going to Google image it myself. Hang on. 20-year-old carp. Yeah, exactly. Google image 20-year-old carp, and you'll see why carp anglers are like, ooh, keep them healthy. That's what I fish. Okay. You don't, says Arkama. I know. My record is... so my best carp is only 69 centimeters. Nice. 7.89 kilograms. Which is 17.40 pounds. Which, insofar as carp go, is nothing. That's like small fry when it comes to carp. Oh dear, there's no collision detection at all. Oh, there we go. What was that? Quickly. I don't have it, do I? No, I lost it. Damn. Okay. Okay, so I know that there's at least trout in here then, so let's keep trying to gun for them. Let's go this way. Oops, sorry, that was a shortcut cast. Reel that back in. Wait, that's drag. Sorry, I want the mouse wheel. That's what I want. Wait, is there a HUD indicator? Let me. I want to see if I've got it like tagged underwater. Hang on. Also, one must be very careful of the drag setting. Set it too high, and then the fish will just swim in the opposite direction and snap the line immediately, which is what happened to me last summer. I got to the lake, cast my line in, forgot about the reel, and it just snapped my hook length immediately. I was like, I stood there with the rod in my hand, looking like a right fucking idiot. Oh, hello. Is that a bass? Oh, hello. Strike, quick. Oh, wow. A largemouth bass. What's the difference? 4.37 pounds. Don't say it has a large mouth. So the largemouth... Sorry. It's a carnivorous freshwater game fish. Okay, native to the United States. Widely introduced elsewhere. The largemouth bass are keenly... Sorry, can you pardon me just 1 minute? I just need a quick drink. Bit parched. What's this? So the largemouth bass are keenly sought over by anglers and are noted for the excitement of their fight, meaning how vigorously the fish resist being hauled onto the boat or onto shore after being hooked. The fish will often become airborne in their efforts to throw the hook, but many say that their cousin species, the smallmouth bass, is even more aggressive. Anglers most often fish for largemouth bass with lures such as spinnerbaits or plastic worms, jigs and crankbaits. What's a crankbait? Crankbait. A hard-bodied fishing lure. Oh, okay. The recent trend is the use of large swim baits to target trophy bass that often forage on juvenile rainbow trout in California. Okay. So they usually hang around large patches of weed and other shallow water cover. Oh! I was fishing on the margins, wasn't I? Accidentally. Interesting. Let's try that again. Okay, release this one. 44 centimetres, 4.37 pounds. So to fish in the margins basically means here. So in match fishing, it became it's the term used for fishing next to your jetty. You're often using instead of having like a rod, just using a pole. So a literal I think they're telescopic. I'm not sure, to be honest. I've never used one. But basically like a literal pole, no reel. You just dip it straight into the margin, and you can get fish that are hanging out there. On some venues, the reason why many big fish hang out in the margin is not just because of the vegetation, but it's because that they've learnt that come evening time, anglers will throw their bait into the water when they're packing up to leave. Hang on. Okay. Oh, I keep doing that. That's the drag setting. Yeah, speed. There we go. So let's see if any of them are in the margin. Hello? What was that? That's a trout, I think. What? Is he in the ground? What the... Oh, mind the drag, mind the drag. Careful. Just trying to bring him in. There we go, he's swimming towards me now. So I'm able to reel in the line hard. Okay, now he's pulling line away. Let him do it. Adjusting the drag. Okay, careful. The clicking indicates the line is being taken off the reel, you see. Careful. Let him exhaust himself. And when he swims to me, that's when I reel in quickly. Let him exhaust himself. There we go. Oh. Oh, no. No, he didn't throw the hook. I'm okay. Okay, get him in the net. Get him in the net. Hey! A sockeye salmon. Oh, my God. It's one of those. Ah. Wait, it's red. Does that mean it's spawning? Am I allowed to fish this? Okay. So, sockeye salmon. 1 second. Thank you, Story of the Game, and B-Man. Thank you very much. Thank you. The sockeye salmon, also called the red salmon, the blueback salmon... What? Or simply sockeye, is a species of salmon found in the northern Pacific Ocean and rivers discharging into it. This species is a Pacific salmon that is primarily red in hue during spawning. Okay. They can grow up to 84 centimeters. This one is 49.58 centimeters. Okay, and weigh about 2.3 to 7 kilograms. That's 5 to 15 pounds. This is only 3 pounds? Oh. Juveniles remain in fresh water until they're ready to migrate to the ocean. Okay, where their diet consists primarily of zooplankton. They die after they spawn. Okay. Landlocked populations, life cycle, competition. Fishery, here we go. No, I'm looking at angling, not fishery, sorry. Any entry on its angling? Hang on. How do you fish for sockeye? What do they eat? They follow lures a great distance, which is probably why almost all sockeye are caught by trolling lures. Okay. Strikes can be triggered by changing lure action. Okay, so predominantly they're predatory. They chase lures. Yeah, okay. Keep it or release it. Let's keep this one. I will give it a name. And that name will be dinner. Oh, sweet. There we go. Level 2. Okay. 1 second then. Let's have a look at my equipment. So my lures... Cash. Go to the shop. Here we go. So lures. Go to inventory. 3 lures for 3rd level. Are these like rewards that you get? Spinning for beginners. What's this? How much cash do I currently have? I've got 220 in-game fictional dollars. Okay. Lines, floats, mono. Here we go. Leaders. Oh wow, they got feeder baskets. Bait hooks. Okay. Is there a different type of spinner that I can utilize? 1 second. Lures. Here we go. Ah, sweet. What's available? What have I got? Sorry, what was on my line? 1 second. Oops. Equipment. So I've got the Robinson Classic Twist 8 centimeter. Okay. But what's the size of the hook? Oh, that's barbed. That's naughty. Got to pinch that or file it. No. Okay. Artificials. Quests. What the fuck is this? Weekly quests. Oh, I see. I know. Yes, barbed is very... Yeah, don't use barbed. Bad. Okay, so it doesn't actually say the size of the hook, strangely. I'm going to guess and say that's probably a size 10? I don't know. Where's the shop? Oh, new skill points. Hang on, let's just look at this. Points available. Buy... So can I unlock one thing? Dodger, what's this? Skill points. Increases lure effectiveness by 5%. Fish in aquarium. Aquarium? What aquarium? There's an aquarium? They're mostly just percentage changes on various different things. Where's that ability to like see the fish? Here we are. Cost in skill points. Unlock previous skill. Oh, I see. I've got to work my way down the tech tree. Yeah, the previous game had the ability to like briefly see what's in the water. Almost like wearing the, what is it, like those sunglasses, which what are they called again? There's sunglasses that you can wear to reduce the shine on the water. Duckslayer has never once seen barbless for sale in Norway. Sure, but that doesn't mean you can't file off the barb. Polarized, thank you. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. Set of strong pliers, pinch the barb, or file it off entirely. Okay. Let's go to lures. Spinners, spoons. Ah. I do have a box of these. I've also got ones that are shaped like penises because Dinklebean has sent me a joke gift. Minnows. Yeah. Ooh, I have some of these as well. Can I show off my tackle box? Back in a second, sorry. 1 minute. Hello! Look at this. So I actually bought a box of these, you see. But I've never actually got them to work. Look. So I bought like these, like they're spoon spinners. And they're meant to sort of spin around in the water. They're teeny weeny ones. And I was hoping to catch something with them. When I used them a few months ago now, back last year. But I just couldn't get anything interested. Nothing seemed to go for them. It was rather frustrating. But yeah. Filed off all the barbs on these. There we go. Hang on. Then look at this. This is creepy. I bought these. Hang on. If you're eating, you might want to look away, okay? I bought these, and I was like, oh, I don't have any flies, any artificial flies. But I thought, well, I don't need them because I don't go fly fishing. But nevertheless, I thought it would be a good idea to have them in the arsenal. So I bought these. They're basically like hooks that have been dressed up to look like insects, right? So they've got it's a hook with a bit of foam, with a bit of string. But then I was like, wow. Those legs, those insect legs, look really realistic. I wonder what they're made out of. Guess what they're made out of? Ew. They're real insect legs. Really creepy. Ugh. Hang on. Yeah. God damn it, I really want to go fishing. I'm hi there, Swat. Swat's in the chat. Swat, I'm desperate to go fishing. All my fishing gear has been cooped up in the flat all winter. I can't wait till it gets warmer in the UK, then I'm straight out to the fucking lake. I don't care if I'm editing a bullshittery that day. Firefox says we can tell. Hang on. And then, Dinklebean got me these lures because he's a cunt. Yes. The trouble is they're massive. These are huge. Like these would be like the largest fucking pike, I guess. Jesus Christ. Do they work? I have no idea. They're gigantic. Oh dear. All right. Is it possible to ice fish? Not in the UK, no. We don't measure our ice in like, I guess in inches. Well, I don't know how they would measure ice in further east of here. We measure our ice in millimeters. You're not going to walk out onto it safely in the UK. You're going to fall through. Okay. Right, so what shall I go with? Sorry, let's have a look. Spinners. Is there a teeny weeny spinner? 10 gram. It's weird that they show the size in grams and not in the size of the hooks. The weight doesn't make any fucking sense. It's the hook size that matters. Let's add this one to the cart. Can I... What's the problem? Surely I can afford it. Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, it requires level 3. Does it? Where can you see that? Level 3. Oh, rats. Okay, whoopsie. Well, I want to get something. What's available for level 2? Can I sort by... There we go. Sort by level. Jesus Christ. Bait, spread, dough. Grubs. Flies, grasshoppers, shrimp. Bleak? What the hell's a bleak? Oh, it's live bait. Spoons. Get this one. Basic spoon lure. There we go. Cool. Go back to my gear. And switch over to this one. So it's a 5.3 gram up to a 7 gram. Okay. Let's have a look at it. Where is it? Can you see it? There it is. Let's give this a welly. Okay. Not really, Grimo. I've just been too busy working. Okay. Here we go. So, pulling the spinner this way. Looks a bit smaller than the other one. Oh, really? Sockeye salmon? Like, hello. Maybe it's not shiny enough for the murky waters. Okay, let's increase the speed. Okay. I think you do primarily carp fishing. Indeed. Do I ever use soft plastic or fake worms? Sometimes, if the venue allows it. Fake, say, corn, for example, on the hook is good at resisting the attention of nuisance fish, such as roach. But some venues don't allow artificial baits. Oh, hello. Strike. There we go. Okay, start reeling in towards me. Okay, whoa, down the resistance on the line. There we go. Up the resistance on the line. So the setting for the drag feature on the line varies from reel to reel. Some action is on the top and some action is on the bottom. I prefer the bottom action. Damn it. I prefer it when the switch is on the bottom of the reel, because then you can easily get it to your left hand. If you're constantly having to reach over the top of the handle, it's a pain. But the trouble is, I didn't know that when I bought my reels, so I've got about 4 reels, and only one of them has bottom action. The rest are all on the top. And it's really frustrating. Had I known that, I would have, purchased differently. So, in other words, it's got like a... Oh, shit. Quickly. It's got like a... Almost like a cog, I suppose, at the bottom of the reel. So as you're reeling in the fish, the whole time you're constantly tweaking that cog to up and down the drag on the line. Because you want to tire the fish out, reaching the edge of the hook length's breaking strain, effectively. And if you go too tight, it'll snap the line. If you go too weak, then the fish will keep fighting you forever. And the longer that it's fighting you, the greater its chance that it will throw the hook, or get you snagged on something. So it's all a big game that you're playing with the fish. What? The game is very unpolished. I suppose it is early access, but... Let's up the drag setting here. Try and get it... There we go. Careful. Careful. Surprised I'm not hearing the clicking sound. It's normally hear the clicking to indicate that it's taking line. But yes, if you ever want to go fishing, folks, this is the the whole reason that people go is for that moment where you got a fish on the line and you're trying to play it and it's and your arms are killing you as you're trying to sort of basically reel the fucker in. It's not just a case of turning the handle till you've got it, because it will just break the line if it's big enough. The game is expecting me to tire the fish out with pulses of right click? It's a silver nightwing? What do you mean, sorry? How would that help? You could do, but normally just a case... It was in the tutorial. Why would you do that, exactly? So long as you have the line under tension and the rod is bent. Come on, keep pulling it in. Come on, there we go. Hold down the right mouse button. The landing net would go in. It's naughty that he's not using a landing net as well. Smallmouth bass, new record. 3.38 pound, 40.74 centimetres. Not bad. Nice. Can I turn the camera in any way? Yeah, new record. Keep it or release it. Probably release it for the experience, frankly. Okay. Oh, I see. Was that the that device that he had there? Was that his scales? Oh, shit. Let's move on to a different part of the lake. Hang on. So where am I now? I'm over here. There's a jetty here. An old bridge. Interesting. Hang on. Yes. Might be able to get some action under the bridge, maybe? Do I still get the dollars for releasing? I don't think so. I think you just get like a big experience boost. Fucking ducks. Ducks can piss off. Hang on. we go. Let's try a bit further. No? What's going on? There we go. What's been my longest battle when reeling a fish in on fishing trips? Probably around 15 minutes. That one took forever, Jesus Christ. That was a big, strong carp. What is that thing? Is that a catfish? Oh, it's a duck. It's a duck on the surface. Maybe I should switch back to the other lure? I was having more success with that one, wasn't I? Let's try that. Let's switch. Well, one more cast. One more cast. Okay. Is that a fish there? No, it's just a leaf. Thank you, Kivion. Thank you very much, Kivion. Thank you kindly, Kivion. Probably not for now, Garlic, if that's alright. If anything, I might drop back to The Witcher 2 one day. See it from the other side, the other choices. Yeah, I was definitely having more success with the other lure. Okay. Oh, I see. The lure... Oh, of course, yes. I need to make the lure green. I see. Aha! I get it now. The UI interface on the top right is telling me when the lure is effective. The tutorial did say that, didn't it? Thank you. Thank you, Mutkans. So it's going too slow, so let's go faster then. There we go, green. Yeah, this one's a fast lure. When it sinks too, interesting. Oh, there we go. Okay, quickly strike. Quickly strike. Yeah, I got it. There we go. Small fish though. What is it? A pumpkin seed. I remember that from the other game. A nuisance fish, apparently. Looks a lot like a wrasse. Pumpkin seed. 0.38 pounds. It's a teeny weeny. Despite being 20 centimetres. Ooh. Let's release that back. Right. Let's go this way. Woo! And I hook the bridge. Oh, they didn't go far. I see, this one's good on the drop. Okay. Probably good. This is probably good for deep water. Don't hook the duck. I've yet to catch a mallard, but, you know, time will tell. Just trying to get the method right. Yeah, should definitely. Oh, there we go. Pull. There we go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, I lost it. Fuck. Didn't strike hard enough, I think. That was a catfish, wasn't it? Cornered badger has caught a catfish before. Sorry, I misread that. You caught a duck before, so it's not out of the realm of possibility. Sorry, I'm totally misreading the wrong comment. You caught a seagull before, so a duck isn't out of the realm of possibility. Am I having a stroke? In my defense, I've got to read the chat incredibly quickly. Like, to left or right, left or right. Do I smell toast? Hi there, Michaelanius. ZF Michaelanius is in the chat, everyone. Hope you're very well. Does it show me how deep? Depth, hang on. It does. Can I bring it all the way to the surface before I let it drop? There we go, quick. The game is very glitchy. Another small mouth bass there. Let's release again. Okay. Thank you, Emoria. Thank you very much, Emoria. Let's go back to... Also, change the time of day. Let's go over here. And how does one alter cloudy morning? Let's go for an evening session. There we go. Equipment, switch over to... Yeah, go back to the one that I had before. Is this the smaller lake? No, I'm just on the opposite side. Okay. Where's the deepest part of the lake? Relevant for if you're doing winter fishing. The deepest part is probably also the warmest, if there's lots of nice rotting vegetation. Okay, so we've got 5 meters deep there. Okay, so let's do a slow. I'm back on the old lure. There we go, slow straight. Thank you, Nuramore. Thank you very much, Nuramore. Quick, is that a strike? There we go. Haul it in, up the drag. Teeny weeny. What are we dealing with? Ah, it's a perch. Yeah, yellow perch that time. It's a big one too. 29 centimeters, 0.78 pounds. Nice, big perch. So when I caught perch for the first time last year, in fact, I was quite impressed with how easy it was to remove the hook. They've got very large open mouths. Carp are a bit of a pain because you've really got to get in there with forceps, but perch, just like, wow, I was like, fucking hell, this is really easy. Yeah, cool. Also, the perch that I was catching at the venue that I went to last year really, really liked Spam. They were really, really into Spam. Okay. I would put a big chunk of Spam on the line, and they would just go apeshit for it. There we go. Down to 5 meters. Here we go. Quickly. There we go. We got something. Doesn't feel very big. There we go. Alright, it's another perch. So there's definitely a shoal down there. This one is 1.35 pounds, 34.8 centimeters. Let's also release that for the experience. How much experience do I need to get to the level that I want? So nearly, well, about halfway there-ish. Okay, let's go higher in the water layer. So perch is clearly at the bottom of the water layer. What's near the surface? As the water gets warmer, at least in Europe, especially in the shallows, carp like to hover near the surface, catching anything that's fallen into the water. So let's... hang on. Don't let it sink too deep this time. So 1 meter deep, roughly. There we go, 1 meter deep out of 5. There we go, strike. Fuck, missed it. The lure... oh, sorry, of course the lure's not effective, it's fucking out of the water. Okay. Creep it forward ever so slightly. Quick, strike. Fuck. Did I get it? Ooh, that's bad. Yeah, the game seems very, very janky. I know it's early access and all that, but holy shit. Oh dear. Big perch though. Just fucking grab it, dude. Thank you, O Saturn. Thank you very much, O Saturn. Thank you. Okay. No, I've never gone fly fishing, Sven. I don't really have the equipment. Looks fun though. Okay, so it's about 1 meter down. Keep going a little bit faster. Oh, there we go. That was a trout. Where'd it go? How strange. Am I screwing up? Am I not striking properly? Oh, look. Ooh. That's a big boy. That's a big trout. Is that a brook trout? Hang on. So he was clearly on the surface. Hi there, O Saturn. Thank you for doing that then, O Saturn. And welcome. Yeah, quick. There we go. Strike. Doesn't feel very big. No, currently just teeny weeny ones. There we go. It's another pumpkin seed. So 0.27 pound, 18.15 centimeters. Okay. So perch and pumpkin seeds. I wonder when the trout would be feeding. Maybe they're feeding at night. Let's give another welly. Oh, hello. Is that the mouth of a river? Aha. Is there legit running water though? As in oxygenated? Maybe. They might actually be over here. Okay, let's switch to overcast day, evening. Let's try night. Fish are really active at night. Never been night fishing. Do want to go though. Need to arrange it with my brother. Oh, look at that. See if we get anything, shall we? Is that something? What is that? Yep. There we go. Just teeny weeny. Jesus Christ. It is a brown bullhead. It's another one of those catfish things. So 0.75 pounds, 28.28 centimeters. Release for the experience. We're going to need quite a bit more if we're going to get back to Europe. Thank you, Boshan. Thank you very much, Boshan. And Steve Fox. Thank you, both of you. Here we go. Slow and straight. Oh, is that something? Yep, something. There we go. This feels a bit bigger. What have we got here then? Not that much bigger. Ah, another sockeye salmon. 2-pounder. 43 centimeters. Nice. 14. Yeah, probably release it. Sockeye salmon. Are we fishing in a hurricane? Well, wind is actually pretty good. At least if you can fish into where the wind is going. So the fish will... What the hell is going on with the rod? Weird. Fish will often try to congregate where the wind is pushing all the debris. For insects will get blown into the water. So if the wind, for example, is going from west to east, try to fish on the east side of the river. Or the lake or whatever. Nice and slow. Oh, hello. What was that? Quickly. Maybe I should try some float fishing as well. There we go. Cool. Smallmouth bass. 1.24 pounder. Nice. Okay, let's switch over to the other setup. With earthworms. There we go. So, let's go and cast... In fact, cancel that. Don't do a big long cast. Just go... Hang on. So just got some earthworms. Find some feature. Cast shallow in the margin over here. Thank you, Azriel and Dolly. Thank you very much. Okay, there isn't really as much underwater vegetation as I was hoping. So when it comes to the design of floats, more often than not you have, what is it, are they called pen floats, as in long thin ones? I've actually bought a bunch of these recently, so the exact type of float that you've got here. I can never remember the name of them though. Hang on. Oh, strike, strike. What is that, pickerel? Pencil float, what did I say, pen float? Cool. A grass pickerel. It's also glowing. It appears to be holy. Let's release it. Hang on. Okay. So, look at these. Woo! So I've got loads of these. I've got an entire box of loads of different coloured floats behind me. Hang on. So, what I'm discovering is that essentially an enormous float like this seems completely unnecessary. But if you can essentially, the longer your float, the more that you can actually sink it below the water. The only thing that you need for float fishing to be able to see is the tip here. So if you can put lots of shot weight beneath the float on your hook length, you can have the entire float sink down and down and down until it looks like that, right? Now for the fish, it only takes a little bit of effort to lift the bait, to go whoop, to pull it under. But with all of that weight beneath your float, you can cast it further, which is really, really handy. Also, if your float is weighted and all the way down, you're actually resisting the wind, because the wind blowing on the surface of the lake is having an effect on your bait. But if all of your line and your float and your weight and your hook is completely underwater, then the only thing that's blowing is that. So if you have the whole float up here, then it's going to bob and move. It's going to do this, isn't it? And it's just going to float away, and the fish are going to look at it and go, yeah, that's bait. But if the whole thing is just sunk, so it's a bloop, like that, you're looking for two things. Either this, bloop, or this. What do you think that means? If your float suddenly, suspiciously rises for no reason, it means that some of the weight is not on the lake bed anymore. It's in a fish's mouth. So if your float suddenly goes like that, strike. Because a fish has gently picked up the bait and is testing it to see if it's real or not, if it's a hook, and that's when you strike. Yeah. Hang on. I'm all tangled up. Fuck. Oh, hang on. What the fuck? I've got myself completely tangled in my chair. One minute. Sorry, there we go. Sorry, fishing. I was fishing. Game fishing in the game. Yes. Let's go over here. So what I'm doing here is actually kind of weird. You can do this. You can have your bait just floating randomly out in the middle of the water layer, but that's kind of suspicious. You really want your bait near the bottom if you can. Basically sitting on the bottom, sitting still, not just floating obviously like this. Oh, fuck me. Jesus Christ. For real? Is it gone? My line isn't taut. Whoops, my bad. My line wasn't taut. Is it gone? Is the bait gone? I presume it's took it. Hang on. Can't see it. Is it gone? What happens if I cast onto the ground? Equipment. No, got earthworms. Times 6. I've still got some earthworms. What else is available? Natural baits, grubs, dragonflies, shrimp. Bread. Bread's a good carp one. Dough, cheese. Never tried cheese. Corn, definitely. Level 6? Level 6 for corn? What nonsense is that? Level 6 for corn. 99p a tin in the local fucking supermarket or whatever. Big tin as well. There we go. What the fuck? I'm pressing Z. Isn't that zoom? There we go. Pull the line taut. Oh, there we go. No, it's just me doing it, isn't it? Is there a fish on there? No. Ah, there's too much wind. Oh no. Yes, float fishing when it's windy is tricky. Because obviously you need to sink your float as much as you can. And even then, there is some drift. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get away with float fishing in the wind. Yeah. So the bait presentation is super unnatural. And of course, if you pull your line taut, then the float gets pulled under. Let's see if the game simulates that. Hang on. Maybe not. Shit. Okay. This is not going to work in the wind. Hang on. Let's switch over to cloudy morning. Everyone knows that anglers have the ability to control the weather. Let's go here, just under the jetty. Still too much wind, or? No, we should be okay. See what happens. Yeah, that's way too much float above the water layer there. So the fish is going to have to exert quite a bit of effort to pull that under, and that will make it suspicious. For it will hold the bait in its mouth, but it won't necessarily have the hook in its lip. It will feel it. It will basically chew it for a little bit to determine if this is bait or not. So, yeah, it'll let go before it pulls that hook down. So in real life, you want to weigh that down all the way till just the tip is shown. And can you see this one? So note that yellow paint there. If you see the yellow at any point, then it's been lifted up off the surface. Hi there, Harry. ZF Harry's in the chat, everyone. Harry, reading the descriptions of fishing in America, I'm very tempted now. I said before that I wanted to visit America purely to see historical sites and stuff. Your Civil War stuff in particular I find fascinating. But now I wonder if maybe I should go fishing in America. Sounds neat. Hang on. Whoops, that was maybe a bit too far. Where is it? I can't easily see it. Oh no, it's too much wind. Maybe it's just natural motion of the water. Yeah, it's unconvincing. Darn. I pull it to me. Can I pull it out of that? Yeah, I need to find some feature of the water where it's not moving. Fish will never buy it. Yeah, pull it out. Bottom floating when it's windy. As in extend the hook length? How does one extend the hook length? I need to do that. What were the bracket keys for? Drag. Oh, leader length. There we go. 0.5. How does one up the leader length? Float depth. Does one cast it and then do it? No. Remove the bobber and let it sit on the bottom. Well, no, I need the float as an indicator. I don't have a quiver tip. Yeah, I know. Leader length. Long distance cast. Float depth. Maybe I can't with this specific float. Let's have a look. What's available? Wagglers. Sliders. So I've got £5 mono. Only a size 16 hook? Size 16 is tiny. Hang on, let me show you. So this here. So the larger the number, the smaller the hook. So this is a number 16. Can you see on the packet there? So, I don't know why that's out of focus. It's kind of weird. So that's a... Sorry, this is a size 18. Did I say 16? I meant to say size 18, right? And then this is a size... So this is a size 18, and that is a size 8. I don't know why the camera's out of focus. It's gone weird on me today. See? So the difference is pretty stark. So I'm using a size 16 right now, so that's a teeny weeny hook. You're not going to be catching much on that. For context, I normally go for like, well, I use like size 6 sometimes, size 8, size 6 on carp, sometimes size 4, you know? Big, chunky hooks for big fish. Okay. How is the size determined? That is a good question. I couldn't tell you. Let's have a look. Why are hook sizes? Is it millimeters, maybe? Of what, though? If the hook is too big, it won't be able to get into its mouth. Hook size. But why are they numbered like that? Why are hook sizes like that? The size of the hook is based on the gap between the shank of the hook and its shaft, known as the gape, as well as the length of the shaft. It's given as a number, and the bigger the number, the smaller the size of the hook up to a point. Badangling.com. Really? Okay. Hang on. Earthworms. What else is available? Go to the shop. What's available at rank 2? Floats. Wagglers. Rank what? Level 3. Not quite there yet. Damn it, I keep clicking out the shop. Sort by level. Owned. If I can use one of these, that might be helpful. Hooks. Yeah, so that will resist the wind, won't it? Put lots of... yeah, sink that beneath the water layer. Add that to the cart. What about some hook lengths? Reels, lines... Doesn't seem to have hook lengths available. As in the fishing line that's between the float and the... well, not necessarily between the float, but basically the last few centimetres of line. It has to be weaker than the main line by a couple of pounds breaking strain. Why? Because if something's got to break, you want the hook length to break. You don't want to lose everything, all of your terminal tackle, if your main line snaps. That sucks. So if it's going to snap, you just want to leave the fish with the hook. And also for the fish's welfare. It kind of sucks for the poor fish if the line breaks and it's stuck hauling afloat all of the weight and the hook and the line. If it's just the hook, then it just spits it out because you're not using barbed, because you're not a cunt. Size 12. Add that to the cart. I thought so too, but a leader means something else, at least to my knowledge. At least a leader refers to a shock leader, does it not? Not a hook length. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm being thick. Mono. Okay. Mono, steel, titanium, and wire. Where's the fluo and the braid? See, it's here in the light. Fluoro rather, and braid. Maybe I'm misreading this. Okay. Let's just get some... is there a different... well, get float. I've already got a couple, haven't I? So a new float and a new hook. So let's buy now for $24. Okay, purchased items. There we go. Let's go back. And then go to equipment. My float setup. Switch over to a river float. So what's this one? This is displacement. Okay. Level 2. Doesn't show me much in the way of its stats. Okay. And then go from a size 16 to a size 12. A much bigger hook. Okay. Still earthworms, though. See what happens. Dramatic sweep. Okay, so if I cast this with more float under the water, does it resist the wind? No, it does not. That's annoying. If I pull it this way... it does when it goes there. Is the water deep enough to allow that, though? Yeah, is that just the river's current? Maybe I misread the situation. It's not the wind then, it's just the current? Okay, let's move along over here. over there. That'd be a good place to get some tench if we were in Europe. Nice vegetation beneath a tree. Damn it. I've done that before. So what do you do if you're fishing and there's a nice tree or like a patch of, like, you want to fish over there? Well, you cast, you see, and then you do something called clipping your line, which basically means there is a literal clip on your reel. You wrap the line around it. And that way, when you cast next time, it will just go thunk there and not go any further. So it takes a little bit of practice, and if you cast too hard, then it will go into the tree immediately. But if you do it right, you should be able to plonk it basically on target every time. There is a downside, however. Once you've clipped your line, once it's holding firm, if you're playing the fish and it goes beyond that mark, it will probably just snap your line. Because there's no give. Oh dear. No collision detection on that wood? Oh, that's bad. Oh. Is the float bobbing or hidden inside that wood? Let me just pull it taut a little bit. There we go. Damn it. It's now in the... Oh, no, it's fine. So yes, once you've got your line clipped, it can be quite hairy. So you got to be very quick on the mark, and you got to quickly try and pull the carp towards you. And if it's clear that it's hitting the clip, you just got to unclip. I've got a couple of reels, and 2 of them have these really well, I've got like 4 reels. And 2 of them have this incredibly annoying triangular clip design, and it pisses me the fuck off because they're really, really difficult to do in a pinch. Like, you're sitting there fiddling with it, and I can't work it out. But the other 2 are these nice, smooth circles, and it's so easy to just, like, wrap your line around this tiny circle on your reel. That reminds me, I need to look at purchasing something for my brother. He wanted a reel for his birthday. Brother, if you're watching, ignore everything I just said. It's meant to be a surprise. It's the same type of bait, but it is a bigger hook. Maybe too big. Or maybe I'm just too high in the water layer. Probably, in fact. I'm only 20 centimeters down. So last summer, the final session of fishing that me and my brother got away with, we were competing. Well, obviously we're competing. We're brothers. We've been competing ever since we both got on the scene. But essentially, my brother decided. We turned up at the lake, and I said, I'm going to be a smart angler. I'm going to go right in the reeds over there, right? Okay, like there. Just pretend that I'm pointing over there in real life. I'm going to go right there. I thought. My brother thought, okay, I'm going to go here. Why? Because there's this great big concrete bunker from the Second World War that was, like, choking a section of the lake. Because the lake had been dug around this bunker, it was a choke point. My brother put his bait into this choke point, and I thought, nah, it's really wide open, there's no vegetation, he's not going to get anything, they're clearly over there. I was fucking wrong. He caught like 6 carp. He was constantly catching carp all day, and I got one fucking carp the entire fucking session, and he was so smug. He was so fucking smug. And he won't shut the fuck up about it. He's been babbling on about it since fucking July or whatever. No, not July. It's like fucking August, whenever it started getting really cold. So yeah. Didn't think to move? What? Away from him and onto another lake? Tempting. Oh dear. Sorry, what was I doing? I I need to increase my hook length, and I don't know how. How does one... Tournament shop settings help? Help. Here we go. Float fishing. Spinning feeder. Here we go. Float zoom. So use the... Oh, did I misread the situation? Is that not the... are they not the bracket keys? The larger the float depth, the greater the depth of the fishery. Sorry, the depth of fishing, not the fishery. Do I do it from this screen? I think I'm thick. Unclaimed reward. What's this? Reward. Oh, wow. Achievements. Mission complete. I get to claim my reward. Right. Oh, just cash. Okay. I'm getting really distracted. It's 15 minutes past 2 and I should have started work a while ago. What have I missed? Let's drag. Is it shift, maybe? Float depth. No, it is the bracket keys. Hi, Joink. ZF Joink is in the chat as well. Hope you're very well. Control? Am I thick? Try going out to cast. Then before I do... No, it still doesn't like it. Oh, I don't know. I don't know why it's so shallow. But that's the current. That was a really good cast. What the fuck? Oh no, it's fine. Yeah, that's way too shallow, so it's so obvious. The fish will be like, yeah, there's a float right there. Check the keybinds. Do you reckon it's just bugged out? The game does seem quite glitchy. Settings, eagle eye, strike, right mouse button. What the? To see Kazim Rozi odd get up rod? What? What? Report bug. Need to assign that to the left mouse button at this point. It is. Maybe it's just bugged out. Oh shit! Was that a? Oh, it is. Holy shit! A fish just fucking bit. Start reading it in. Ooh, hello. It looks like a perch. It is. Yellow perch. Ah. 1.36 pounder. That's quite nice, actually. Cool. Let us release it. How long until my next level? Very close. Very close indeed. Straight into the ground. Damn. Hit the damn current. I know, Master, it's weird, isn't it? Always have a landing net. Did I? Yep, there we go. Ah, dear. Absolutely, yeah. So never have it so that the fish's weight is on its jaw. Especially as the fish get bigger, because you could really hurt them. Like, genuinely. If it's a teeny weeny fish, it's fine. But if it starts getting bigger, especially if it's over a pound, then you're just gonna fucking hurt it. Keep it in the landing net. Put the landing net just above your knee. So just have it. So, if you're gonna pick the fish up, have the landing net beneath it, so that it's just gonna fall safely into the landing net. Because frankly, there are ways of doing fishing without being a cunt, you know? Things go wrong all the time. Even if you're fishing for food. Lines can snap. You can make a mistake. It could injure itself and get back in the water. There's ways of doing it humanely. Indeed, I have played it, Grimo. I think I even played it on stream for a bit. A few years ago. I can't remember. Did I ever upload those to the closet? Maybe I should fish somewhere else. You thought landing nets were banned? Keep nets. Sorry, did I ever say landing net? I meant to say keep net. And I don't know if they're banned, but I can tell you that the fisheries that I go to on the south of England, none of them have been allowed. They're normally listed in the rules. No keep nets. I don't know why. No, I don't think they're in that area. Let's go elsewhere. Okay, a couple more minutes, then I really do have to go get on with work today. Sorry, guys. Tell you what, let's go over here. The other lake, where there's presumably no current. Well, there's always a little bit of a current, as in the wind is going to make the water move clockwise or anti-clockwise. When you get to a venue, it's a good idea to just throw in a stick or something to see which way it goes. Okay. Looking for any water features that might prove useful. Not that I can see. No, this is not VR. Not a wreck. It might be. Yeah, I'm just really weirded out by how short the hook length is, and I don't know why. Like, it's just beneath the bloody float. Thank you, Toby Dan Kenobi. Thank you very much, Toby. I don't know. I don't know, Tuagini. I've never asked. As in the owners of the fisheries. Yeah. I don't know how I've done that, Mutgans. Maybe you're onto something. Hang on. How did I do that exactly? If I go back to the other float, does it have 20 centimeters of hook length? No, it's gone up to 50. Maybe it's tied... I can't explain that. Okay. I can't explain that. But yeah, I like float fishing quite a lot. My brother likes ledgering. But frankly, I think it's mainly because he's never really tried float fishing because he hasn't got like a proper waggler rod. He's got like a big heavy duty carp rod. And carp rods are great and all, but they're fucking heavy. Good for landing the gigantic fish. But they're not very comfortable to hold in your hand for long periods of time. 10 to 12 foot carbon fibre, big and chunky with very little bend on them. Again, great for the heavy-set carp, but if you're standing there, if you've got it in your hand for hours, ugh. So I like having like a small, eensy-weensy reel with a nice light line. Oh, hey, quick. Hello, I saw you, you little bugger. Right. Pull you in. You're a perch. Hello. Yellow perch, new record. 1.65 pounder, 37.25 centimetres. Again, to repeat the factoid at the start of the stream, if you ever catch a perch, get the weight, take a picture, get it in the water super quickly. Why? Because they shoal. And if you wait too long, the shoal could move too far away for it to return to its flock. So, right. Let's go over here. But yeah. Oh, really, Wesley? Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. Like, keep nets for tournaments where it's about how many fish can you catch in a certain amount of time. Obviously, you need to track how much you're catching. I've got a few. Well, I've had a few landing nets over the last few years. They've given me trouble, to be honest, because they break far easier than I anticipated. It got really annoying. Like, I bought a brand new one, and I took it to a lake, and it was last summer, and here in Britain we had this really severe drought, and so the water level was considerably down. I had to basically bring the landing net all the way to the like on the furthest tip, the fingertips. My fingertips were on the handle, just to reach down to the water. It was that far down from the jetty. And then the moment I scooped up this fish, and it wasn't even that big a fish, it was only like 4 or 5 pounds, the landing net just snapped immediately. And I got really irate. I sent like an angry thing to the place that I bought it from, going, what the fuck? This is a carp. This is a huge landing net. This is meant to land a massive carp. It couldn't hand like a 4 or 5 pounder? Thank you, Super Mogwai. Thank you very much, Super Mogwai. Maybe I should try a different bait. Yeah, definitely lures seem to be the way. Lots of predatory fish on this lake. Okay, let me, just for the sake of getting to the next level, let's switch back to the... Go from float fishing back to lures. There we go. Because we're almost there. Right. There we go. Nice and slow. Oh, hello. Big sockeye. Oh, I see. The blue bubbles. Is that something that I should be paying attention to? Hello, just random sockeye right there. There we go. Got something there. Doesn't feel very big. There we go. It's a perch. No, smallmouth bass. Teeny weeny one. Release it for 5 experience points. Cool, nearly there. 114 out of 126. Let's go. There's my rod. Okay, let's try to go for the mid layer. 3 meters deep out of 5. There we go. Let it sink for a second. Oh, there we go. Strike, strike, so strike. There we go. Well, this feels heavier. Whoa, okay, down the drag, down the drag. This one is heavier. Oh, he's trying to pull away from me. Oh, this one's a biggie. Come on, you little bastard. Don't you pull me away. No. That's it. Reel towards me. He's swimming towards me, so reel in. Careful. Oh, we got a nice one here, folks. Don't lose it. Click, click, click. It goes. So again, to reiterate for those just joining, the objective here is to tire the fish out when you play it. The clicking sound is the sound of it pulling line out of the reel, and there's a drag setting which you can alter. You can either do it by touching the top of the reel or the bottom, depends on the model. There's like a dial that you turn to up the drag up and down. You tighten the ball bearings or whatever they are. And so the whole idea is that as the fish tries to swim away, it's pulling line out and it's tiring itself to doing so. There we go. Until eventually it's so tired that it can't overcome your attempts to reel it in. And then you get it straight in the landing net. Get some antiseptic on those wounds. Take a picture. Get it back in the water. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. But again, it varies from place to place. Okay, I'm going to up the drag. He's tiring. Up the drag. Come on. Come on. Come on. Ooh, he's pulling away from me. Ooh, careful. That's it. Keep reading towards me as he's swimming towards me. Come on, we want to knack you out, mate. Wonder what it is. So normally I put, come on, I put roughly 200 meters or so of line, sometimes a bit more than that on each reel that I do. Try not to put too much line on any given reel that you've got, particularly if it's mono. Mono is a, what is it? It's like an extruded polymer, is that correct? It's essentially very, very cheap to buy in bulk, and therefore it forms the, it's like stretchy, it's like almost like elastic, and it's quite elastic at long ranges. But don't put too much on your line because it actually degrades in quality over time as it absorbs water, I think. So you actually need to exchange, as at least according to what I read, you need to exchange the line every year or so. So don't put too much on the line and therefore damage too much of it. 200 meters is plenty. Indeed, fluoro and braid, but they both have disadvantages, the other types. The clear fluoro, or what is it, fluoro? Fluoro? Fucking hell. Is great and all, good for hook length, but it has a habit of spooling up into a... It remembers its shape. So it has this annoying habit of sort of becoming like a springy... Well, like a bird's nest on you, really easily. Am I doing this wrong? Surely he's tired by now. Is it nylon? Sorry, mono. Braid is a sort of like, well, it's what it says. It's a braid. It's like a weave. It's incredibly tough. The downside is it's also very expensive. Braid is really expensive. Also, some venues that I've been to have they ban braid mainline. Again, I don't know why. The bailiff, he came round and had a go. No, didn't have a go at me, but he was like questioning me. Like, is that a braid mainline? And I was like, no, it's a feeder rod. It's a spod rod. There's no hook on it. He's like, okay. What am I doing wrong here? Surely I would have landed this by now. Speed, yeah, 100%. Drag. I'm pressing the right mouse button as the tutorial instructed. Have I just hooked like a log or some shit? Surely he should be fucking knackered. Up the drag high, come on. Exhaust the bloody thing. Come on, mate. Come on, mate. There we go. It looks like a... Whoa, there we go. Okay, whoa, okay. Sockeye salmon. 6.45 pounder. 63 centimeters. So shorter than the last one, but heavier. 6.45. Big chonky. Big chonky. New personal record. Very nice. I'd probably keep it. What do I get if I keep it? Price. 96. Yeah, so 96 experience and $19.74. I get more if I release it, but we'll keep it. Yeah, that's dinner this evening. Woo! All right. Level 3, there we go. Let's leave America and go and have a look. Well, I need to get on with work rather urgently now, but let's just go have a quick look. How do I leave? Exit location. Let's go have a quick look at the one in Europe. Here we go. Jackson County, United States. Zalassy. Oh, license cost. You have a license. There we go. So, the Zalassy Holiday Resort is located on the shores of Lake Gilwa, also called... We're not going to attempt that. Fine. Rentinski. Rentinski? It lies about 20 kilometers west of Oslotyne and about 30 kilometers northeast of Ostroda. A small unnamed watercourse flows into it from the east. Tench, European perch, asp. What is asp? Barbel, common bream, common carp. Woo! Mirror carp, sesame carp. Don't know what that is. Grass carp. I know of them, but I've never caught one. Crucian carp. We're not talking about that. Talking about those. Chub, eyed, not familiar. Northern pike and roach. Thank you, Thiefhold. Thank you very much, Thiefhold. And Super Mogwai, and Error Wolf, and Toby Dan Kenobi. Thank you, folks. Why am I not talking about the Crucians? Because there's a video on YouTube where I landed the first ever carp, hyping up the audience, explaining how big and powerful carp were. And it was a Crucian carp, basically a goldfish. And then it got mounted on the wall of my trophy room. Oh yeah, is there a trophy room? Okay. This would be the sort of thing that I would fish. All right. Slowly, Cake 52. Ah, yes. Big Lilies. One of the venues that I go to. Yeah, like everyone scrambles to get near the lilies. Okay. So here we go. So I've got my float. So, carp. Yeah, they go for earthworms. No reason why they wouldn't. I don't know if they go for spinners. I'm told that they do, but I've never seen it in real life. Bread. They would definitely go for bread. Sadly, bread, or at least surface baits, are banned on quite a few of the venues that I go to. Purchased item. And they definitely go for boilies. There we go. Why is bread banned? No idea. Again, I just according to the rules written on the thing. Every lake is different. Every lake will have different owners. Origin says, you caught a 15-pound mirror on a floating dog biscuit. Ooh, nice. Yeah, surface baits are often safe, or at least for the carp are like, oh yes. So, folks, when I'm meant to be... Oh, hello. That was a common carp. You could tell by the scales. When I say that sometimes I'm working on a bullshittery in the summer, in reality... Whoops, quick, strike. Whoa, what the hell happened there? Did you see that? Weird. In reality, I'm doing this somewhere. Dial down the drag. Dial it down. Don't let it break. Oh! Oh, no! I've never seen that before. The rod got damaged. Oh no. Okay, well, we have a clear demonstration of what happens when your drag settings are set too high, but also a clear demonstration this pillock didn't set his hook length to be a few pounds breaking strain less than his main line. Or, well, if I don't know how he's managed to get the rod to break. What's meant to happen is that the hook length snaps off only the first, 20 centimetres, and then it leaves your terminal tackle and your rod fine. Oh, shit, biscuits. How much is it going to cost me to fix that? Repair. Oh, $0. Okay. Okay, this is the starting one, I assume. Where is it? There we go. Where is it gone? Can I see it? Can you see it? Oh. Wait, have I lost my... Oh, no, it's the wrong thing. I'm stupid. Bloody stupid. It's my spinner. Hang on. Setting incomplete. What have I done wrong? The feeder master. It's a feeder rod. Oh, I see. Set is incomplete. Oh. Go with a size... Let's start with a size 16. Small. And then choose bait bread. I see. There we go. Dial down the drag. There we go. Pull this towards me. Where's the float? Stick it round about there, near the lilies. Hopefully the cheeky little bastards don't try to snag me, which is what they sometimes do. All right. So yeah, I like fishing. Fishing's nice. I do recommend. Not going to sugarcoat it though. It is very expensive. Yeah. Oh, quick strike, strike. Don't you dare snag me in those lilies. Hello, what have we got here? It is? Ah, it's a little roach. You can tell it's a roach because it's a silverfish with very striking red fins. That's a pretty respectable roach, to be honest. 24 centimetres is pretty big for a roach. Roach are normally, well, they travel in shoals, and they're a bit of a nuisance fish, to be honest. Some people do like to fish them with like a pole, like go roach fishing for the day with a pole. But yeah, if anything, the roach is more that type of fish that you've got to try and get your bait down to the bottom of the lake as quickly as possible to avoid the huge numbers of them which are all over the place, nicking softer baits. They're one of the reasons that boilies are so popular, frankly. Hang on. The boilie being a small, almost a gobstopper-looking thing. It's like a round, like a marble, but they're resistant to roach because they can't be easily nibbled. Big fish come along and gulp them whole, but roach just, they can't do anything to it. That being said, roach aren't entirely useless. Small shoals of feeder fish, of like nuisance fish like roach, if you distract them with some ground bait, can call the carp, in the sense that the carp see, ooh, there's some feeding. Quick, strike. That's too slow. That's too slow. No, I wasn't. There it is. What the... Common bream. I have never seen a bream jump out of the water. I think the game... Yeah, it's got some generic, Yeah, bream don't jump out of the water. So, the common bream, also considered a little bit of a nuisance... Well, it depends. I mean, many people consider them a nuisance fish. They also travel in shoals. They can get quite large, in fact. And they're considered a bit annoying because they tend to go for the same type of bait that carp go for and often eat the boilies, which can fit into their mouths. But the problem is, well... Look at the shape of it. I can't turn it. How do I turn it? I can't put it head on, top down. It's a very flat profiled fish. What do you think that means if you've hooked it? It means that it can't resist. It doesn't put up much of a fight. How can it? Its thin body lets it slice through the water really seamlessly, and it doesn't have the muscle mass to really give you much of a fight. So instead it just goes, oh, fine, whatever, and just rolls onto its side, and it's got no fight. So it's no fun. Well, it depends on to each their own, but I catch bream, I'm like, oh god, it's another bream. You can tell the moment you've hooked it, because there's no fucking fight. Carp, different story. If carp had opposable thumbs, they would fucking make shivs and shank you. Okay. Bream make slime. I can't remember. I don't really think so. I haven't really noticed when I've caught bream that they're abnormally slimy. Tench make a lot of slime. Ugh. Tench are kind of gross. Apparently they used to be called doctor fish in medieval times. Medicinal properties they believed that they had for other fish. It's not true. It's nonsense. No, I don't know what a toadfish is, broken bones. Not familiar. So yes, with a waggler rod, or even a stalker rod, which is like a sawn-off version that's only about 6 foot instead of 12, and a light match reel, you can actually hold it in your hand for ages. It's one of the reasons that I like doing float fishing, because it requires much lighter gear. A big carp rod, you really got to lay it on a rod pod or like a stand or something, which is fine, but it does kind of feel like you're letting the robot do the fishing for you. When I say robot, I mean that you've got these buzzers. You don't have to use the buzzers, but lots of people do. And the buzzer will beep when you've caught a fish, or rather when the line gets bumped. I like the feeling of having the, I'm going to regret saying this. I like the feeling of the rod in my hand. But in particular, because, to each their own, but when it comes to, let's recast again. When it comes to the rods that I like to buy, cork. Ooh, nice cork handles. Warm and soft. When you first buy a fishing rod and you peel off the plastic and it's all cork underneath. Sorry. I'm being weird. Right. German's going, nerd! But it's nice! I think my brother, he likes the opposite. He likes, carbon fiber carp rods. To each their own. In his defense, they'll probably last longer than mine. Ooh, there we go, strike. Looks like a roach. Red fins. What the I don't know. This guy just sort of flings the fish. That is a fucking huge roach. I've never seen a roach that big. Oh my god. 1.42 pound roach, 34 centimeters. Jesus Christ. That is a huge roach. Okay. Not bad. This is really so fun. Let's check what else is about. I'm looking for the carp. Question is whether or not they would go for boilies. How big is this venue? Oh, it's pretty huge. I'm on the corner of a big lake. Okay, so carp would... Is it noon? I'm looking for nice... Well, it depends on what they're doing. You've really got to analyse the venue when you first turn up. I don't know if the game has simulated it to that degree. So you're looking for bubbles indicating feeding underground. You're looking when it gets warm enough, what you really, really need to look for is fish jumping out of the water. No one quite knows why carp do it. The theory is that they're clearing their swim bladders of debris, or resetting their swim bladders. But whatever they're doing, they jump where they're feeding. So if you see fish jumping out of the water, it's pretty spectacular. But often it's like, okay, they're feeding over there. Let's go once again in the reeds over here, just near the lilies. Damn it, it's way too shallow. Let's get over here. Also, I didn't think it would be this common. Don't hook the mallard. I didn't think it would be this common, but lots of people use bait boats these days. Basically remote-controlled boats. And I thought, no one would buy them. They're literally on every single lake. Like, pretty much every time I've gone fishing, somebody has a bait boat. And they send what they can do, instead of casting, what you can do is you can tie your hook just onto the back of the boat and just trundle it out near some weeds. Why? Well, it means that you don't get snagged on trees that might be above the reeds. But also, because the bait boat doesn't breach the water surface, you don't scare the fish that might be there. Another roach. So that's 24 centimeters, 0.49 kilograms. That's still a fairly big roach. Okay. That's illegal? No, not really, penguin. That's lazy? Yeah. But seriously, the carp fishing scene in the UK is huge. Like, really, really huge. There's so many fucking gadgets and like devices and people making like floats with like a small sonar device that will pulse a little depth gauge effectively. Did I buy one? We're not going to talk about that. Doesn't work very well. It's a bit of a gimmick. It's a bit stupid. Ooh, hang on. Hello, what have we got here? This feels like a... Is that a tench? Nah. That's a crucian carp. Oh, wow! Doesn't look like a crucian carp. Weird. Okay, that's... Really? That looks nothing like a crucian. Alright then. So, 26 centimeter crucian carp, 0.47 centimeters. So, as far as I've never caught a crucian carp in real life, but they're the same genus as the goldfish, as in it's the fish that the goldfish came from. So they look a lot like just normal goldfish. They're kind of teeny weeny. They're teeny weeny though, but they can grow bigger in certain situations. That looks a lot like a common carp to my eyes. Just like on a quick glance. It's mainly the fins. Sorry, not the fins, the scales, and the number of them. Crucians have similar. I thought crucians had really tiny heads. Yeah. Weird. Okay. Release. Okay. Silver Lanian says, you don't need half the shit that they sell you at fishing stores. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. The only reason they sell so many things in fishing shops is to get idiots like me who are like, yes, I'll take that and that and that shiny. And oh, look at this. Have you seen the shit that's in... Look at this. Okay. Let's have a look. Let's look at the stuff that idiot me has purchased over the... I shouldn't be doing this because this is your sub money. I'm so sorry. Right. We've got maggot feeders. Maggot feeders that you put the maggots in and they crawl out and then can attract them. What else have we got? We've got method feeders where you can squidge the dough, the bait like dough in there in order to make a shape of dough and therefore hide the hook inside the dough. What else have we got? We've got surface floats. What is this? Like a surface bolt float. So the idea is that it floats sideways on the surface instead of upright like a normal float in order to have floating baits. We've got... What else have we got? Penis spinners. We're going to ignore those. Dinkle bought them as a joke. We've got teeny weeny little fucking... What is this called again? Not like a microscope. It's magnifying glass. A teeny weeny magnifying glass so that you can use a small file to make sure that your hooks are super duper sharp as you cast them. They're fine. We've got fucking... These clips which you use with artificial bread, which I have in here somewhere. Literally artificial bread instead of normal bread, so to keep the roach from nicking it. Does it work? I don't know, because artificial bread is often banned on the lakes. We've got these. I don't even know what they are. They're like flies, I guess, that are meant to look like a specific type of insect that's available here in British lakes. What other bullshit? What's more expensive? What's embarrassing? Hang on. To be honest, the really embarrassing stuff isn't actually here, because it's actually in the other bags. It's like the sonar float, wherever that is stored. There's like GoPro waterproof cameras, which I bought for something different. There's like loads of fucking flies. There's different type of line. These are cute. Look at these little bait baskets. They're kind of adorable. Like you put that on your line and you fill it full of like ground bait, squidge it in there, and then it sort of wafts through the water. It goes like la 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 la, sprinkles bait. Yeah. Oh, these are cute. Look. My mum bought me these. They're like artificial. They're artificial. What is it? Like plastic bait, but they've got like peach flavored. They're very very nice smelling. My mum got me those. I caught like a few carp and a bream, I think, on those. Peach flavoured. In addition, my brother has bought for me like a boilie. It's like a rolling pin, like a rolling tray, but for making your own boilies. Oh, glugs! Oh my god, glugs! Fucking. Like flavour that you apply to the flavoured baits that you're already buying. You like squirt this onto your hook bait to somehow make it nicer smelling than all the other baits that you're already throwing in there. It's an industry for total fucking suckers, which is clearly why I've got so much of it. Yes, hello. Hi. Anyway, sorry, I got horribly distracted. I'm probably going to have to go get on with work now, folks. I've got so much I need to go do. But thank you for being here. Thank you, Brandiro and Irv27 and Gordon and Proto Bob and Shimei and Loco. Thank you all of you for subbing, folks. Thank you sincerely. Right. I'm going to go get on with editing today. I've got a whole lot so basically the 3-hour video that I'm working on, I've got the 4th and final segment of it to polish this week. So I need to go and do that. I need to go and polish it and hopefully deliver it to you by Friday. That's the touching wood. That's the hope at least. So yeah, I'm going to go crack on. So cheers for watching, everyone. Have a lovely afternoon. Let me have a look and see who's streaming amongst my clanmates. 1 second. So who's on? Who's on? Opening up the stream team. And also Ryu's on, if no one else is. Okay, none of my clanmates are on, so let me hand you over to Ryu. So she is Bavan's... Well, she's a VTuber that Bavan often plays games with, notably GTFO. So right now she's playing a bit of Plate Up, and I'll leave you in her company. So please be nice, please be friendly, have a lovely afternoon, and this is Ryu.